My name is Sheridan Cripe, position title CEO of City Life Basketball. I started City Life Basketball to give kids an opportunity to develop fundamentals so they can be more competitive when they go out to play basketball or whatever sport they want to choose to play outside of basketball. And it's giving them a platform where they can come, learn, and then go out, be competitive, and just carry that on through life. I've always done a different way. I've never been the one to highlight an individual player. I didn't like that. I still don't like it. I just don't. Because that's not basketball. And so that's what you see a lot of today, is a lot of individual basketball play. And you don't see a lot of team play. And the team play is what's most exciting, for me. That's real basketball, fundamentals, running the lanes, sharing the ball, LYFE stands for Leading Youth with Fundamentals and Education. What City Life is me, where I grew up in the city, having to establish myself fundamentally to be competitive out there on basketball, and then also carrying that into life. My upbringing from church has always been discipline. So LYFE is leading youth with the fundamentals, establishing the discipline and the education which we all need to advance and be competitive in life.
So my name is J.R. Vega, and I'm the Chief Operations Officer with City Life. But my perspective from City Life is really to look at the whole picture and to try and see if there's things and resources that we can kind of pull to within the community to really give and develop their basketball path and their basketball journey. And so my focus really is the independent player. We have teams and we have academy, and those range anywhere from 30 to 60 kids in one night. So the coaches really have clusters of 6 or 7 at a time, and they're really focusing on developing those and those key factors. I get the privilege of really looking at independent kids and really making sure that whatever we set up is a path that makes sense. One, that we can do in reality, and then 2, it's something that they're interested in. And then I work with the coaches and I work with Sheridan, the co-owner, to make sure that those things can become reality of some sort. To where we just continue to add pieces to what it is that they expect. So it's not every Tuesday or every Tuesday and Thursday when they come to us, they're not just walking into a gym with 2 courts and 4 coaches. They're walking into an experience, and we want to keep adding layers to that. Yeah, education. So it's a big portion of what we created City Life for. We did it as coaches when we were coaching at the high school level. We naturally did it. So we had our basketball, we had study halls, and we had things that are naturally there. But for us, what we decided is that we were going to further educate and really break down basketball in their world, considering they were still considered to be fairly young. So we went to videotape. We would break down plays. We would ask them to go home, take home homework that's basketball related, come back with answers. We would then quiz them. So there was a high level of education that we offered at just the coaching side of basketball. Within City Life, the education side has those same techniques and topics, but we're also expanding them. In 2019, we're going to be introducing programs to where you're going to be talking about anti-bullying, how to behave within the gym environment. These are all things that we're going to have outside educators come in and talk to our kids, as well as parents who want to attend, to where it just gives them an avenue to where they're going to learn on how to be and how to act in an environment where they're hoping to spend a lot of their life in. So as they get older, they're going to understand that you're going to have teammates coming in and out. So the idea of a bullying situation or a bad demeanor or anything like that might come up, they're going to learn firsthand that these are things that don't happen. And they're going to learn it from a different perspective. Not going to be a coach yelling at them from the floor. They're going to have ways to learn these kind of topics. So those are just a couple of the topics that we already have in place in mind. But as we grow and develop, we'll be adding more layers to that, to where the education is going to become a really heavy part of what we expect from our players on the City Life side. City Life is a month-to-month commitment. So other than a team dynamic, because a team dynamic has essentially a 5-month calendar or up to a 5-month calendar. So then they're set when they're on the team. But as a City Life player, it's a month-to-month commitment, and it's specifically built that way so that players can then go and do other interests. So if you're a baseball player, a football player, if you're into videography, or if you're into music or anything like that, and there's a part of the year where you have to focus on that talent, we don't want basketball at age 4, 10, 15 to have to dictate that you can't do something else that's of an interest to you. So we're really high on really setting up the structure so that players can go in and out without feeling necessarily obligated that they're causing conflict within the structure of the organization. So the only time that ends up being more of a challenge is when you're actually on the team. But even with those situations, if we know in advance, because the player or parent knows, then we're able to maneuver and manipulate the schedule to where it works best for that player in that particular, where they want to go, whether it's another sport or something of interest. So we really, again, we're in it for the journey of that particular player, however long it is. And so we want them to excel in life as a whole. So we don't want to eliminate things that they're in love with just because they also love basketball. So basketball could be a part of it and could be a heavy part of it, but we also want them to enjoy those other parts of life. And we try to take it, when we can, when the schedule allows, we try to go and take part in some of those special techniques and traits and things that the kids like. So if it's football, baseball, music, a play, whatever it is, if coaches have the ability, because we're invested into the player, you'll catch a coach at one of these things that are outside of basketball. And it's because we believe in the players themselves, and if it's something that they're interested in and they want to take part in, we'll be there if it's available. We'll do our best. So I've already seen players that have done a school play to where I was in there, and as I'm walking to the gym, the players from City Life come out and they're excited. And although I will be in disclosure, I'm there because my daughter is in the play, but at the same time, to see their reaction and to come out, it's one of those ones where you understand your impact at such a young age for them. And so for them to have a City Life coach in the building while they performed, something that's completely different than basketball, is something that we see the impact. So the coaches I know the other coaches have gone out and done things like that when they have the time to really fit it in. So it's something that we take pride in when it comes to our roster of players.
You know, everyone has a purpose. You have to understand that everyone has a role, and that builds a strong team. So it was times where kids was getting mad at each other. And it's like, so I had to tell them after, I said, look, it's not about how many points you guys are scoring. Because if you're looking at scoring all the points, you're being selfish because you're taking it away from this guy. And then he wants to score all the points. And now you guys are fighting each other. There's no team concept. And you gotta let them understand that early. And the younger they are, the better, because then they can soak it in. If you wait until they get middle school, high school, it's too late, because now they know it all, because they've watched it all, because that's all they see. No, don't tell me. I'm like, okay, all right, but you don't have the fundamentals. You don't. So you don't even understand basketball. You don't even understand it. So it's making sure that the coaches understand it, so then they can teach that to the kids and make sure. And you know, you're always going to get some that want to be an individual. So you just have to know how to let them know this is team. We're about team. And there are programs that just, you know, like to do the individual stuff. But City Life is about team fundamentals, team life, everything. Team and family. So come on, bring them to City Life. We take care of them. We really do. You know, and I think the parents who, you know, they can say, you know, the coaches really do take care of, you know, they really do take care of the kids. You know, they look for the kids. The kids, you know, when they reach out to you and they asking you questions, you know, life questions, that's when you know, hey, you know, I get kids, hey, coach, I got a question I need to ask you. Hey, talk to me. What you got? It don't have to be basketball related. So So that's all.